Hey, I'm Andy, and we're back with Magic the Gathering Arena, and a new set just dropped, and it's the Core Set 2021. So I don't know if they're going to be as powerful as we've seen in Ikoria, because Ikoria was something. But yeah, it's going to be a Core Set 2021. I don't know a lot of the cards. I've seen some of them in spoilers, but it seems like there's a cat and dog vibe with the pre-purchase, but same with the mastery. There's like a lot of cat and dog stuff, so I don't know if the majority of this set is gonna be like that, but let's just get started. I might do 10 times opening later on, but let's just open at least 9 individual ones first. We'll see how it goes. So yeah, I don't know a lot of. It's like an introduction. Like the core sets were always like a beginner's set compared to like the storied set, at least to me. So alright, oh, the Thrashing Bruntodon's back. Let's see what the rare mythic Sanctum of All. Alright, it's a legendary enchantment shrine with one of each color. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may search your library and your graveyard for a shrine card and put it onto the battlefield. If you search your library this way, shuffle it. If an ability of another shrine you control triggers when you control 6 or more shrines, the ability triggers. That seems so. I guess it emphasizes a shrine deck, which I don't know what the shrines do. I might have to make one, but we'll see if I actually get more shrines or not. Alright, let's get to the next one. Alright. Fierce Empath. I like that. Oh, Titanic Growth. I think that's like a staple in Magic. Ghostly Pilfer. Blue and a colorless. Whenever Ghostly Pilfer becomes untapped, you may pay 2. If you do, draw a card. Whenever an opponent casts a spell from anywhere other than their hand, draw a card. Discard a card, and then it can't be blocked. Interesting. Yeah, it seems interesting. I don't know if any of these. I don't know like what the best cards are in the set, but I'm just here, just exploring these new cards and see if they're fun to play or what have you. Because I'm just a casual player. So you got Experimental Overload. Created an XX blue and red weird creature token, where X is the number of instant and sorcery cards in your graveyard. Then you may return an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand and exile this. Interesting. Alright. So I guess, is it burn or is it spells is still a thing? Yeah, it doesn't have to be related, like, just within is it too. Already with the wild cards. Oh. Hobble Fiend. 1 red trample. 1 sacrificing the creature, put a 1/1 counter on Hobble Fiend. That could be good in like a borrow sack deck, maybe. But maybe that's just here's the cat. And like I said, it was like cats and dogs, but Basari's Acolyte, 2 white, lifelink. When Basari's Acolyte enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 other target creatures you control. That seems interesting. I mean, I don't know if that's like good for 4 mana, but it seems interesting. Pursued Whale. I guess reference to Moby Dick. 5 blue 8/8. When Pursued Whale enters the battlefield, each opponent creates a 1/1 red pirate creature token with this creature can't block, and creatures you control attack each combat if able. Suppose your opponent casts a target Pursued Whale costs 3 more. So it is like it is basically a reference on Moby Dick. So yeah, let's just a land. When Radiant Foundation, okay. So it doesn't enter tapped as well. That's interesting. Because usually, from my experience, it enters stuff like that enters tapped, but interesting. But then those also have a color associated to them too. Alright, there's a lot of auras. You can't choose an untapped creature as this spell's target as you cast it. So you have to target a tapped creature. Interesting. Too bad it doesn't have flash, otherwise you can just take it while the opponent's attacking. Right. Let's see. Basari's Lieutenant, Human Knight, another Basari. Is that, like, I don't know who Basari is. I'm not into like the Magic lore. I know some, but I'm not too in depth about it. So vigilance, protection from multicolored. When Basari's lieutenant enters the battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Whenever the Basari's lieutenant or another creature you control dies, if it had a 1/1 counter on it, create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance. Interesting. And it's 3/4 for 4. Interesting. I don't know whether these cards are good, whether these cards are broken. All I know is if it'll look fun or not to me. So we got a Sanctum Shrine here. Sanctum of Shattered Heights. Reminds me of Guild Wars 2. So it's 2 red, 1 discard a land card or a shrine card. Sanctum of Shattered Heights deal X damage to target creature or planeswalker where X is the number of shrines you control. But they're legendary, so you can't have more than one. Of the same one, at least. Alright, Faith Fetters. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you gain 4 life. Enchanted permanent can't attack, so it's pacifism, but costs 4. Or not, pacifism with can't activate abilities unless they're mana abilities, and you gain 4 life. So it's basically an extra mana for the 4 life, and then the extra mana for the activated abilities can't be activated, I think. We got Spark Hunter Masticore. I don't know why that's not a cat, but sure. As an additional cost to cast a spell, discard a card. Protection from Planeswalkers. Interesting. Spark Hunter Masticore deals 1 damage to target Planeswalker. 3 Spark Hunter Masticore gains indestructible until end of turn. I think this is the first thing I've seen that's protection from specific Planeswalkers specifically. So, alright, let's open some more. A lot of new ones. Chandra's Pyreling. Whenever source you control deals non-combat damage to an opponent, so it's basically like... Oh no, never mind. I was gonna say it's like the one that scries, but this one gains double strike instead of scrying. Elemental Dog. The Igneous Cur. Oh, it has fire breathing. Neat. Alright. Oh, and like the wild cards are good, but I want to see the cards, honestly. Alright, we got a Rewind. I've seen that before. Silent Dart. Sacrifice Silent Dart, it deals 3. That seems pretty bad. Like, compared to all the artifacts we have in the previous set, like that seems, even common ones, that seems pretty bad. Alright. Whenever Siege Striker attacks, you may tap any number of untapped creatures you control. Siege Striker gets 1/1 until end of turn for each creature tapped. Oh, too bad it doesn't have Trample. Now, you think it has Trample with the Siege, but I don't know. Maze Mind Tomb. 2. Tap, put a page counter on Maze Mind Tomb. Scry 1. 2. Tap, put a page counter on Maze Mind Tomb. Draw a card. When there are 4 or more page counters on Maze Mind Tomb, exile it. If you do... Wait. So it says when there are 4 or more page counters on Maze Mind Tomb, exile it. If you do, you gain 4 life. But, I mean, it doesn't say you may exile it, so why does it say if you do? Like, you have to pay attention to the wordings from what I know playing Magic. Like, that just seems weird. The wording seems weird to me about that. Alright, what's next? I got a Griffin. Yet another Igneous Cur. Hey, Prismite. 2. That seems bad. I mean, it's a common, but still. Alright, we got a Glorious Anthem. I've seen this before. It's not a new card, but the art looks cool. Yeah, the art looks cool. Alright, what's next? We got another aura. Enchanted creature gets +2/+0, and when this creature dies, draw a card. So you can... actually no, it's better to put it on your own stuff. Hey, we got Thalids, so I guess they're back at this core set. Double the power of target creature until end of turn. That seems pretty good. Not gonna lie, that seems pretty good. And it's an instant, so if they're not gonna block, or if you have something with trample, that would be nice. Alright. So we got Idol of Endurance. When Idol of Endurance enters the battlefield, exile all creature cards with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard until Idol of Endurance leaves the battlefield. Then 2 tap. Until end of turn, you may cast a creature spell from among the cards exiled with Idol of Endurance without paying its mana cost. Alright, so it's kinda like Luris, but this seems better in a sense. Because with Luris, I mean, with this, both of them you can only cast one a turn as well, so. But then this one will only, it's a flat cost of 2. And so then you can just pay 2 to bring back something that's 3 costs, so it's slightly better I think, but yeah, what do I know? So let's open 10 and see what kind of rares are mythic, because we haven't got a mythic except for the wild card, but now we're talking. We have a Chandra. At first there are, I guess there's Scrylands. The Scrylands are back. I mean, people, I guess there's some people that like them. I prefer the Pain lands, but yeah, it is what it is. You got Azusa, Lost but Seek. I remember her. Wasn't she from Kamigawa? I remember seeing her before, but I guess she's back. So we got Chandra, Heart of Fire. It's a different Chandra this time because there's so many different kinds of Chandras. 3 red, red. +1, discard your hand, then exile the top 3 cards of your library. Until end of turn, you may play the cards exiled this way. Then +1, Chandra, Heart of Fire deals 2 damage to any target. I think that's a better one than the first one, but that's situational. Then -9, search your graveyard and library for any number of red instant and sorcery cards, exile them, then shuffle your library. You may cast them this turn and then add 6, or 6 red. That's I don't know. It might be good, but I feel like there's better Chandras out there. Like the one that summons 2/1/1 seems good, but yeah, we got a 9 lives. I've seen the spoiler of this, but like I don't know how within the confines of a standard or modern, like I don't know how to make this good. So it's 1 white hexproof. If a source would deal damage to you, prevent that damage and put an incarnation counter on 9 lives. When there are 9 or more incarnation counters, exile it, and it leaves the battlefield, you lose the game. So like the idea is to get this to like 8 and then cheat it and give it to your opponent, but I don't know if there are any cards that do this effectively within the sets limited in the MTGA. Like obviously there's ways outside in real life when you play it, but I don't know about this one. So we also got Garruk's Harbinger. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player or a planeswalker, look at that many cards. Look at that, what? So I guess look at that many cards is how much damage you do. So you may reveal a creature card or a Garruk planeswalker card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest in the bottom in random. Oh, that seems, I mean, for 3, that seems nice. Like the power creep is like what I'm used to, like a standard bear, a 2 for a 2/2, or is it 2? Let me check. Let's see, MTG bear. It's almost like, yeah, it's 2 for a 2/2 vanilla. So that's like my base understanding. And this is like 3 for a 4/3, and then hexproof from black, and then other stuff. I mean, granted, it is rare, so. There we got Baron Talarian Archmage. When Baron Talarian Archmage enters the battlefield, return up to 1 other target creature or planeswalker to its owner's hand. Beginning of your end step, if a permanent was put into your hand from the battlefield this turn, draw a card. Alright, we got Necromentia. 1 black. Choose a card name other than a basic land card name. Search target opponent's graveyard, hand, and library for any number of cards with that name and exile them. That player shuffles their library, then creates a 2/2 black zombie creature token for oh, like imagine playing against that one deck that can have as many copies of that one card in their deck, and like obviously that deck's gonna be like not a 60 card. Usually it's not a 60 card. Then you just do Necromancer on that. That seems like a really outlier case, but that would be great when that happens. Yeah, Speaker of the Heavens. Vigilance lifelink for 1. Tap, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying. Activate this ability only if you have at least 7 life more than your starting life total, and only anytime you can cast a sorcery. So basically, life gain decks will have no problem getting that to activate. So, interesting. I might put that in a life gain deck, but we'll see. So let's open 10 more. Alright. Oh, more mythics. Or just one. We got more Azuzas. Subira Tozidi Caravaner. I can't pronounce. I don't know if I pronounced that right. So we got 2 red, haste, 1 another target creature with power 2 or less can't be blocked. Then we got 2 tap. Discard your hand until end of turn whenever a creature you control with power 2 or less deals combat damage to a player. Draw a card. Interesting. Chromatic Orrery. It's a I don't like I said I don't with the other card I don't know if it'll be good within the confines of MTGA. It might be better in real life, like commander decks. I don't know. It's another mana rock. So, yeah, what have you? You got a Scavenging Ooze. Exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, put a 1/1 counter on Scavenging Ooze, and you gain 1 life. You got Transmogrify. Exile target creature. That creature controlled reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a creature card. That player puts that card onto the battlefield and then shuffles the rest into their library. Alright. A Containment Priest. If a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast. Oh, so that's like the anti-Chandra that plays the tokens. Alright, other creatures. Oh, that seems good. Kervek the Spiteful. We got a Volcanic Salvo, 10. So with the Chromatic Orrery, this might be easier to cast, but then you would have to be at 7. So 7, and this is 12, and it only it gives you 5. So next turn you'll be able to play a Volcanic Salvo if you have 7 mana. So this costs spells X less to cast, where X is the total power of creatures. Okay, so it's not always going to be 10. Like, more likely than not, it's going to be less. So Volcanic Salvo will deal 6 damage to each of up to 2 creatures and our planeswalkers. Too bad it's not players, but it probably would have been too powerful. But I don't know. Alright, you got a lot of... We only got 2 new ones. Veto. Thorn of the Dusk Rose. 2 black. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. 3 black creatures. So that's probably going to be put in the life gain deck, because that seems pretty good. So I don't know if this would trigger with another. Like, I know there was a old combo with like Sanguine Blood. I'm just a casual player, so there's like an infinite combo with that. I don't know if there's an infinite combo with this. Like I said, within the confines of MTGA. Then we got Conspicuous Snoop. Red. Play with the top card of your library revealed. You may cast goblin spells from the top of your library as long as the top card of your library is a goblin card. Conspicuous Snoop has all activated abilities of that card. That seems interesting. So, like, goblin decks are one of the main. I mean, they have always been a thing in the core sets, so that's nice. Like, I don't know if I have enough to make an actual deck, but we only got 2 new ones this time too. But I mean, we got 2 rare wild cards, so that's pretty good. Like, my rare and mythics are kind of low compared to the common and uncommon. But we got Gardak the Crown Scourge. Flying Gardak the Crown Scourge can't attack unless you control 4 or more artifacts. At the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token for each non-token creature that died this turn. Okay, interesting. The art seems weird to me, but I mean, just the face. But that's just me. Oh, we got 3 new ones, not 2. Nyambi, Esteemed Speaker, White Blue Azorius. Basically, when she enters the battlefield, you may return a target creature you control to its owner's hands. If you do, you gain life equal to that creature's converted mana cost. And then discard a legendary card, draw 2 cards with 3 in a tap. Interesting. And then we got Teferi's Ageless Insight, 2 blue for a legendary enchantment. If you draw a card except the first one you draw in each of your draw steps, what? That's as confusing as like phasing. If you would draw a card except the first one you draw in each of your draw steps, draw 2 cards. So basically, if you have like if you have an ability from somewhere else that says draw an additional card on your draw step, then you would draw 2 instead of that 1 extra, if I'm understanding how this works. So if you would draw a card except the first one you draw, that seems interesting. Like, I'm sure, like, I don't know if you can game it with the confines of MTGA, but that, I know you definitely can outside of it. But I don't know. See, I'll have to check like all the other cards to see if it actually synergizes with that in the game. But yeah, 20 cards left. I know I'm skipping like a lot of these, but we're only just, oh yeah, a lot of first ones. More Scarlands. Just going through ones that seem pretty interesting, I guess. Sublime Epiphany. 4 blue, choose 1 or more. Counter target spell, counter target activated or triggered ability. Return target non-land permanent to its owner hand. Create a token that's copy of a target creature you control. Target player draws a card. I mean, okay. For 6, though. I guess it is. Terror of the Peaks. It's a mythic 3 red. Flying. Spells your opponent cast the target Terror of Peaks costs additional 3 life to cast. Not mana, just life. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, Terror of the Peaks deal damage equal to that creature's power to any target. That seems pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, that seems pretty good. There's no downside to this. But like, I know it costs 5, but there's no downside to that. You got Double Vision, 3 red. Whenever you cast your first instant or sorcery spell each turn, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for that. That seems pretty good too. Like, red. Wow. I mean, yeah, red. You got Peer into the Abyss, 4 black. Target player draws card equal to half the number of cards in their library and loses half their life. Round up each time. Alright, so it's like Traumatize, but you don't mill, you just draw. I mean, I can see the value in like in Commander, but within MTGA I don't know. But I mean, that's just me. Primal Might, X green. Target creature you control gets XX until end of turn, then it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. So that's pretty nice. No trample, but that's pretty nice. I mean, it does fight, so. Last 10. Alright. We only got 1 new one, sadly. Fiery I mean, it is a mythic. 3 red. If a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple that damage to that permanent or player instead. So I wonder if this plays with the same rule as the creature that makes mana. Like if you were tapped at triple that, let me see what that thing was. If I can find it and if it'll load. But yeah, those were 69 packs. I mean, you only saw mostly rares and mythics, but that's what I usually do. So let's see if that will go with that. If it follows the same rule or not, because that would be amazing with Torbrand. So let's see, where was that? It's like a 6 or 7 mana cost creature. Where was it? Nyxbloom Ancient. So with the mana, if you tap a permanent for mana, it produces 3 times as much as of that mana instead. So I think this increases exponentially if you have multiple on the field. Like if you have 2 Nyxbloom Ancients, then it'll be 3 times the 3 times, so 3 squared. I mean, I think that's how it's calculated, but with the red, I don't know how that's gonna combine with Torbrand. So if a source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple that damage to that player or permanent instead. So this deals triple, and then Torbrand, if I can. So I mean, I can probably search for it, but we're getting there. But like Torbrand says, I know I'm going off topic of what was supposed to be like an opening video, but it is what it is. Like, I'm intrigued, like the wordings on some of these cards, I'm just intrigued of that. So, I went past it. Torbrand. So, if a red source you control would deal damage to an opponent or permanent, it deals that. Oh, so it's not. So it deals that much damage plus 2. So, basically, it deals that much damage plus 2. So, if it was a 1/1, it will deal 3 damage. And then with the. Oh, where was it? Where was it? I guess I'd go all the way up to the end again. So if it was a 1/1, it would deal 3 damage with Torbrand, and then with Fiery Emancipation, it will deal 9 damage. But then if you have 2 Fiery Emancipations like the Nyxbloom Ancients, I wonder if it's exponential. So if source you control would deal damage to a permanent or player, it deals triple that damage to that permanent or player instead. So if you have a 1/1, and then if you have 2 of these out if you have only a 1/1 at 6 mana for some reason playing red, then it will deal 3 damage because of 1 of this enchantment, and then the other one will trigger as well. So you'll do 9 damage. So 1/1s do 9 damage if you have 2. And then if you have 3 of them out for whatever reason, then it'll deal, or maybe because of like Spark Double, maybe it'll deal 27 for a 1/1 if it's exponential. Maybe I don't know the calculation of this because I haven't seen this card before. But if it's like Nyxbloom, then it's probably exponential, which, wow, I like it, but I don't think it's like, I don't know if it's good or not, but personally I like it. But yeah, that was opening 69 core 2021 booster packs, and I don't think I mentioned this at the beginning, but if you use the code PLAYM21 in the store, you just type it in here, type in PLAYM21, you will get 3 free core 2021 booster packs. I'll also put that code in the description down below. So it only works once, like with all these new sets, like play whatever set it is, you get 3 free booster packs, just as a taste of what you can expect. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. I kind of went off in a tangent near the end over there, but yeah, those were not a lot of cats or dogs, even though I said it might have been related to cats or dogs, because like when you go to the mastery, you get a puppy, a pup, as your companion, and then in the mastery tree it has like one of each has a dog or a cat. Like this one has pack leader. Where is it? This one has a cat. Maybe it's only. I guess it's not in every color. So that was my mistake. I only saw those 2, and I assumed. But yeah, we got that 1 enchantment, but I don't know if. Yeah, I was just wrong about cats and dogs then, maybe. I guess there's more than what one would say normal compared to other sets for cats and dogs, because I don't recall seeing that many cats and dogs in like Ikoria or Eldraine or the previous sets. So maybe there's a spike in this one, but yeah, it is what it is. So hope you enjoyed it. Until the next set, whenever that is, thank you for watching and have a nice day.